Welcome to the Weekly Tea. Look, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm cool with that.
What's up, guys? Tyler Secrist here. This week's episode, we're going to share a conversation I'm going to have with a good and dear friend of mine. His name's Lonnie Whitlock. He's the owner of ISG, Iron Society Strength and Fitness. You could say it's a new club in the Fort Wayne area. We're down here in South Carolina. The reason for the call, just to chop it up. Lonnie and I, we go back quite a few years. Like I said, he's a really good friend of mine. I remember when he purchased that club, that gym. Used to be called Max Fitness. It was probably the most popular gym in town at the time. They had 3 different locations. Lonnie acquired the business. He shut one location down and did all of this right before COVID hit. Was dealt some really unfortunate circumstances and navigated those waters like a pro. I remember talking with Lonnie right before COVID when he purchased them. He came into my office and we connect every now and then. We talk about business, we talk about our goals, we just talk about all kinds of stuff. He's just a good friend that we just I won't speak to him for 2-3 months and then we'll hop on a call and spend 2 hours FaceTiming each other. And what kind of initiated getting him on the channel was that we hopped on a call last week and we ended up FaceTiming each other for like 2 hours just talking about each of our businesses and everything that was going on and our goals and just kind of dapping up and stuff. So but anyways, he for those of you who don't know him, that's what he's about. He's the current owner of ISG. They navigated those waters through COVID, made the business profitable, got through that like a pro. A lot of health clubs, gyms, didn't make it through the pandemic, and they came out on top, and they've got some exciting stuff coming. So you're going to hear a lot about what he's got planned, and I know he's excited to share it because I remember when he first called me over the summer to kind of tell me about it. He said he's been working on this for like a year and a half, and he hasn't really been able to say anything. And since the deal just got finalized, it's starting to circulate in the news and stuff, and I know he's really excited about it. So we're gonna see where the conversation goes. I think my friends and like followers who come to me as a mentor for like a business aspect, as an entrepreneur, I think you guys will take a lot from this. So enjoy. There he is.
What's up, brother?
There he is. Hold on,
I have no idea what just happened, but you called, it went through. So I have a Mac desktop.
Yeah.
And it literally went through my computer and never came through my phone. Weirdest shit ever.
Well, that happens. I've had that happen I'd have like my tablet open.
Yeah, I've never had it just go through the computer though. Like it didn't even go through the phone at all. I couldn't answer the phone.
Do you use iCloud?
I do, yeah.
That might be why.
Yeah,
That might be why.
Okay.
Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you hopping on later this evening. That little mishap this morning.
Yeah, that was totally my fault.
Dude, it's all good.
I literally read that text message completely wrong.
And I figured you were just busy and you didn't see the P.
Yeah, I'm alphabetically challenged.
What sucked, bro, is like I was literally like you sent that message as we were taking off and no service because there's no Wi-Fi on the plane. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be here for an hour. And he's probably going to be like, what the hell? So I texted you right away and you were like, it's cool. Well, no,
totally
dude.
My fault.
Dude, we already recorded like a prelude, just kind of introducing yourself and ISG and kind of what you've been able to accomplish and kind of what you went through. Obviously, dude, every time, and I'm sure you're getting it too, based on the conversations we've had in the past, I'm getting a ton of people from all ages, 20-year-old kids, guys in their mid-30s, guys in their mid-60s, trying to figure out, from my side, it's like real estate, right? Investing, or just trying to like improve their daily habits or stuff that's like really relative just being a high level businessman. And I'm sure you're getting that too. So based on the conversations that we've had recently, I wanted to do something different on the channel. I wanted to get somebody in the community that people know and just kind of do something different, man. This content does pretty well for people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone. And I don't know, I just wanted to hit you up. I appreciate you taking the call, and I just want to see where it goes. So I just want to get right into it because, like I said, I already recorded a prelude, and I want to ask you just a few questions, I guess. I want to know what made you and Nikki one day, all right, I'm going to buy Max Fitness, knowing what mess you were going to inherit. What made you wake up one day and make that decision?
I actually said no 3 times. So I'll give you the short version.
Yep.
So we started this conversation, I'm going to say in February of 2019. And I had found out, I went into 03, and Jack talked to me a little bit about, hey, do you want to buy a gym? And I said, sure, I've always wanted to own my own gym. You know, what are we thinking, you know? He sells gym equipment, as you know.
Yeah.
And he said, well, the one next door is for sale. So that's Max Fitness. I said, yeah. So they're selling Max Fitness? He said, well, it's a little deeper than that. They're going bankrupt.
Oh, so Jack was your way in.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I said, okay. I said, well, I mean, what are they looking for here? And he said, they're looking for $500,000. I was like, okay, that's pretty darn steep, but, you know, I mean, I don't have $500,000, but, you know, if the business plan's good, if the numbers are good,
right?
You know, I know I can get it financed. You know,
did they pass you? Did you get to look at the financials beforehand? I'm assuming.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. So, you know, fast forward about a month, I had a couple of conversations with John Ballenhorst, the original owner of Max. And we chatted a little bit, and I had to sign a non-disclosure, obviously. And, you know, we exchanged, you know, financial information. He gave me all the P&Ls for the last, you know, for the previous 3 years. They were abysmal at best. There was so much waste in the numbers that I've never seen anything that bad, and a business survive. It literally... I
remember briefly when you were going through that way back when, and kind of talking about that. I want to go a little bit deeper into that.
Okay.
Seeing that, what excited you about it to move forward?
I think the excitement came when, and I'm sorry, I'm actually looking for, I have completely lost my mount for my phone.
Oh, you're good.
So,
well, your delt's getting weak, man. You getting soft on me?
Yeah, dude, holding up an iPhone, man, this thing weighs like a pound.
I know, man.
Like, I got nothing left in the shoulder. But so, long story short, you know, there was so much waste. Like, I'll just give you a simple case in point.
Yeah.
One physical location was spending almost $300,000 a year just in labor.
Wow.
The business only generated about $500,000 a year in revenues.
All 3 locations?
Each.
Oh, each. Okay.
Yeah, because so total the business was doing roughly $1.3 million, all 3 locations combined, which sounds really good until you start looking at the expense side of things.
Yeah.
You know, the rent alone was $750,000 a year.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, you know, each location is costing right at about $250,000 a year in rent. So, and that's still the case today. That's why it's so important as we move forward. We want to purchase our real estate.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way that we're going to be able to increase that bottom line. But anyway, so as I'm looking through the financials, one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was I noticed the labor was a huge problem, but then all of a sudden I start looking at their personal training line. The line item is personal training. It's costing them more money to pay personal trainers than they're bringing in. And then I started looking at their supplements. I'm like, okay, they're selling supplements, they're buying them from Health Kick Nutrition, and they're reselling them in the store, which is fine, except they're losing money. Like, every single thing they were doing.
From an operational perspective, they were just dropping the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't paying attention. The shrink was ridiculous. The amount of just indiscriminate waste I've never seen before. And for somebody who is supposed to be a business person, the owners really, really, really failed. Like, but it's common though, because here's what happens. Somebody opens a gym, and it's the shiny penny in town. You know, right now we're dealing with OPS. Okay, OPS is a new kid on the block.
Yeah.
OPS has a lot of money because they're funded by Lutheran and whatnot,
right.
and they have a state-of-the-art facility.
Right.
So it's the shiny penny. Everybody wants to go check out the new place. The problem is, it doesn't take a lot to properly manage a facility, just like any other business. You have to know your numbers, and I don't think they knew their numbers. You know, OPS will suffer the same fate as every other facility if they don't watch the numbers. Luckily, they have Lutheran behind them to watch the numbers for them.
Yeah, that's what they've got going for them, for sure.
Right. So, you know, for that reason, they'll succeed and they'll do phenomenally well. And I wish them the best, because that building is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But, you know, for an independent gym, it's so critical to pay attention to your numbers. And at one time, John had 35 gyms across the country, and he was wildly successful. And I think what happens is he started to fall into that comfort level of, hey, I've made it. I'm here. It's very intoxicating, and it becomes your downfall.
Yeah.
You know, they were losing, when I bought it, $44,000 a month.
Wow.
Every single month.
Wow.
We're not talking bleeding out slowly. We're talking about, you know, you cut a main artery and you're going, you know, head first in the dirt. About
he got his, he got lazy and just lost control.
Got his, everything was paid for, and, you know, he had a fish on the hook to buy it. So my first no came, I'm going to say sometime around June, when I called him and I said no. I said, the numbers are off. I can't do this. There's no possible way. And so we started our negotiation about that point. And I got it down to where I could basically bootstrap everything, cash it out, pay for everything up front, flush all the debt, restructure everything, and essentially start clean with a book of business. It wasn't until September, that we finally did strike a deal where I sent him a proposal. Mm-hmm. He accepted the proposal because he was 6 weeks from locking the doors.
Ah, okay.
So, one thing to look for anytime you buy an existing business, even if it's losing money and you know you can turn it around.
Yeah.
Motivated seller, man. It's no different in my business than it is in your business. Motivated seller. They'll do just about anything to close a deal.
So you got a good deal then?
I did get a good deal. We were able to cash in my 401k and pay cash for everything. We owe $0 on anything. We have no loans. We owe nobody nothing. And everything in that building is 100% paid for.
That's fantastic, man.
All of it.
That's incredible. You, part of that too was, whose decision was it to cut the Illinois location?
So ironically,
were you running numbers and you saw that just didn't make sense, or?
Well, there was a couple of things that happened that just kind of knocked us out for that Illinois location. The first one was when I first met the owners of the property, they handed me a bill for $56,000.
Wow.
And they said, this is what, Max Fitness is behind in rent. I said, great, you should probably send them to them.
Right.
Because I'm not Max Fitness.
Right.
And I'm not buying Max Fitness. I said, I'm here as a new company. I'm purchasing their equipment, which I've done, and I'm purchasing their membership base, which I've done. Everything else we do from here on out is Iron Society, and Max Fitness has nothing to do with it. And they said, okay, they were okay with that. It was fine. Mm-hmm. They were new owners. They were listening to their broker, which I think he led them down a bad path, but that's not, neither here nor there.
Right.
They needed $17.50 a foot out of that building. When I talked to them, I told them at 9,600 square feet, the best that gym can ever do is $9 a foot.
9.
That's it.
I was going to say 12, so you say 9.
Yeah.
It's a small space.
Very much so. And that's why I said $9 a foot. If we had, 15,000 square feet, yeah, okay, 12. 12 to 15. That's what I pay now in my other two buildings, and they do well. You know, Maple Crest is not doing as well as DuPont, but they are both paying for themselves. They're both standing on their own. So, you know, from a business perspective, in 2.5 years, be, you know, slightly profitable.
There's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of buzz up north too. So.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, that was the whole intent of doing that.
Maple Crest. I mean, which blows my mind because there's some really good real estate for sale over there in the 3-5 Maple Crest Maysville area. Like, there's good infrastructure. There's good infrastructure over there. There's great neighborhoods. Like, I'm surprised more commercial doesn't flourish over there. You know.
So I think what's going to happen, and I think we're going to see this in the next probably 3 to 5 years, because I know you're on the pulse of this. As Tonkel Road starts to build out, starts to drip down,
it's going to head east.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the movement happen into that part of the area where we're at now.
I think it's going to go even further to Hicksville.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that, because if you look out St. Joe Road, Nostine Road, Flutter Road, and all of those farmland areas out there, that's all Tittman property.
Yeah.
They own the vast majority of that, and they love to sell developable land.
It's either Tittman or Amish ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's what's out there.
Yeah.
It's Amish farms. So I still see quite a bit of opportunity in that area, but for us right now, we're looking north. We're looking at expanding DuPont.
Oh, I know. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that here in a minute.
Okay.
We're gonna get into that. That's another reason. Another reason why I wanted to just do this real quick, because I know how long you've been kind of working that angle for you're on the verge of doing up there, and you've got to be excited to share it with everybody.
Oh, dude, I'm elated.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a year-long conversation.
Yeah.
And it's been just as stressful for those folks as it has been for us, because we are very much in a, I would call it a performance partnership with them. If they don't perform, we don't perform. If they don't build, we don't build. I ran the numbers in Auburn and the surrounding area, and there's just not enough people to support a gym that like I want to build. Mm-hmm. And because that's going to be our new model, these are what's going to be put in everywhere. It's a hybrid version of a gym. And I don't know if it's being done anywhere else, but I know it's not being done in this part of the country. And I want to be the first to market with this product. But to build it in Auburn, being partnered with a youth sports center, to be partnered with a tremendously
partnered with hotel
faith-based.
You're partnered with hotel chains too, right?
Yes.
Or is that an ongoing?
Those conversations haven't happened yet.
Okay.
But not between myself and the hotels. It has happened between Auburn Sports Group and the hotels.
Okay.
And so they kind of, how can I say this? They know about it. They know what the concept is, and they like the concept.
They're open to it.
They're open to it. We haven't nailed down any of the particulars.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a phenomenal idea, because if you look at how much a hotel spends in that space,
oh yeah,
how many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially dollars,
oh yeah,
are we saving them in maintenance and cost?
Talk about it.
They could put more rooms in.
Think about it's got to save them on insurance too.
Sure.
Liability. Yeah, it's got
my liability. Dude, my liability.
I don't want to know.
It's insane.
I don't want to know. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I tried to buy a box truck. I'm like, oh, it'd be a great asset. You can advertise it. Buy, sell, build with me. You need to move it. Pass them the keys. Nah, man. They do the insurance is. They damn near want you to create a separate LLC as a logistics company, and it was just like,
yeah,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
I know. Jack's going through the same thing with 03. They wanted to buy a box truck. All they're going to do is deliver.
Deliver the equipment.
Sell. That's it.
Oh.
The amount of insurance and liability they would have to carry on that would cost them more than it would to literally just contract and pay a separate company to do it.
It's sad, man.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's sad because it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
I think it's a fantastic.
So, I think, everybody who's going to be watching this, I think is in tune enough, kind of knows what's going on. What, where you're at now, looking back, would you do anything different? Because Lonnie, you went in there, man, you rolled up your sleeves and you got shit done pretty quickly. And then, which I commend you for,
by the way.
because
It's nice to be noticed once in a while.
no, man, dude, it's impressive, man, because you got everybody kind of in that industry got shafted for, what was it, 6 months?
Yeah.
And
6 months.
you still made through it, and flourished.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is because I'm not afraid to get dirty. I think people appreciate the fact that, Nikki and I work very hard to try to deliver the best possible product we can. Mm-hmm. They understand that, it's just the two of us. We have people that support us tremendously. I can't say enough good things about David Christie just because he became literally my right hand. That I couldn't do this without him. Like he knows, he's probably forgotten more about, like the computer systems and the inner workings of the gyms. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know. He's that good at his job.
He's been there a while.
He's been there a long time. Yeah, he was with Cardinal Fitness, then he was with Max Fitness, now he's with me.
He's a nice guy too. I've always liked him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But Leanne, who has taken over DuPont, does a phenomenal job. All of these people, and people who aren't even there anymore, past employees, past managers that that have worked with us, like Erica Ingram.
She's great too, her and her husband.
Yeah. Her and Gabe are awesome.
Yeah.
All of these people helped so much, and I will be eternally grateful because truly, if it wasn't for the community that we have built of people, we wouldn't be here. It was not by my hand alone that this happened. It was 100%, the community and the family.
Well, I liked how loud you were with the media and kind of sticking up for people like us through what was happening.
We got screwed.
Yeah. And
the federal government and even local governments, it really felt like they were demonizing small business.
I think that impacted the community you're kind of building in a really positive way. I think it strengthened that bond.
That was the intention.
Just from an outsider.
I felt like we were on the railroad,
Yeah.
My gym, both of them, are full of small business owners, independent contractors, people who rely on freedom of choice and all of the freedoms that we're supposed to enjoy in this country to operate their business, to feed their families. You just took food out of some kid's mouth. All because of what?
Right.
You still don't have straight answers for that. We're still dealing with it, which is fine. But at the end of the day, you have to let people make their own decisions. You have to. Even if it's the wrong decision.
Yeah.
It's still their freedom to make that decision.
Let's go back to my question. Was there anything you would do different?
No.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah. I mean, we did the absolute best we could. We survived.
Yeah.
So many people, and it breaks my heart to think about all those people that put just as much heart, soul, money, time, blood, sweat, and tears into their business that didn't make it. There was thousands of them.
Kind of moving forward now, because I really want to talk about this Auburn thing. That's really exciting. What are your personally in your business? What are your biggest challenges right now?
This is the biggest thing I've ever done. Mm-hmm. I've never built my own facility before. Again, luckily I have a team of people behind me that are very supportive and very good at what they do. My cousin, Philip Pace, he's the CEO of Conseco Group, which is a commercial building company out of Nashville, Tennessee.
I was going to ask you, where they ordering that kit from? Are you going to get it from Volcraft? Or U.S.
Steel, and there was one other one he told me about, but U.S. Steel.
You going to use anybody local, Volcraft?
Or maybe Nucor. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, Nucor does so many buildings for people.
I was just curious. Wasn't sure if he had, because I remember you telling me that connection. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to use somebody local or if you were going to.
I'm pretty sure he probably has accounts. I mean, he's been doing this he was with McDonald's for over 10 years. I think it was over 10 years prior to this, but I know he's been doing it on his own for like 25 or 30 years.
He was building McDonald's?
Huh?
He was building McDonald's?
Yeah, actually, he worked directly for McDonald's. That was who he worked for, where he started to learn the job of building commercial buildings, stuff like that.
Building the restaurants and stuff.
Yeah. His claim to fame when he was with McDonald's was he actually built one of the first green McDonald's using recycled products and things like that. So yeah, he does a phenomenal job at what he does, and I get to lean on people like that. I get to lean on people like that when I have questions about, okay.
Let me ask you this: isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic?
It is.
Being around talented people that you can bounce ideas off of.
I would take it one step further than that. And one thing that I want your viewers to know, and one thing that has helped me in my success, and one thing that I strive to do every single day, I want to talk to somebody smarter than me.
Oh, hands down.
I will never, ever, ever be that person that thinks they know everything.
100%.
I like being that person. I am a lifetime learner. I love to watch and listen to people who are smarter than me. Mm-hmm. I love to learn from those people because they've already been there. Or maybe, even people who are younger than me. If they've done something I haven't done, I want to meet that person. I want to pick their brain. I want to learn what they did because they did something different. Same thing with you. When you started your journey, I was so just tremendously excited for you because you have a hustle like nobody's business. And I knew that. Even before you started in real estate, I knew that, and I knew you were going to be successful. I just knew it. You had that in you to do that. And look at you now, and you're just getting warmed up.
Our stride's just opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah. No, but dude, I resonate with that so much because I completely agree with you. Like, I'm the same way. I'm constantly trying to get around people who have accomplished way more, know more, because let's be honest, that's the only way you're going to get exposed to those processes, those experiences, those high-level decisions.
Yep.
They're the people that will kind of challenge you and push you to get uncomfortable, and that's where you see the growth. Just like what you're doing right now, you're about to see you're going to see a lot of growth. You're going to go through some adversity, you're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to come out on the other side, even better than you were. Like I can't wait till it's done and we're talking in like 2023, 2024, and we can come back and like talk about this.
Yeah.
And be like,
it should be a very exciting conversation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much more gray each of us have too.
Probably a lot more. And I'm telling you what, my racing stripes are becoming just a chin strap. It's like the whole thing.
I'm getting there.
That.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. About time.
I'm earning my stripes.
Right on.
No, but lastly, because I was trying to keep this under 30 minutes, and I know we're getting close. I want to talk about the Auburn Sport Complex.
Yep, let's do it.
Why Auburn? I know when we were hanging out right before you bought, or like kind of in the middle when you were rolling your sleeves back, you had interest and probably still do have interest in possibly doing something out Southwest.
Still do, very much so.
Yeah, and then July we connected and we went on our like 2-hour rants like we do, and you told me about Auburn, and I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. And obviously I was in tune with that because I'm aware of everything that's going on here on Lake, and I was really interested in it. And then when I saw that article last week and we reconnected, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. So why Auburn? Because you even said it yourself. You were like, I don't think they have the population support. I don't think blah, 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 blah. Was it the partnership with the sport complex? Like what all went into that to like make that decision or pull that trigger?
Yes, it was a partnership with the sports complex.
Let me ask you this too, Lonnie, real quick. Part of that partnership is the group that owns that facility in Westfield, right?
No.
It's not in Westfield?
Yeah, it is in Westfield. You talk about Grand Park. So the CEO of Auburn Sports Group, his name is Rodney Sin. His son, who is the president, is Grant Sin. So Rod worked with the group that owns Westfield and Grand Park. So
Okay.
Grand Park in Westfield. Okay.
In like a consulting fashion, or help manage, or
You know what? I can't answer that because I don't know.
okay.
I don't know in what fashion. We talked briefly about it. I know he was involved in a lot of the preliminary building design and running of the facility. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm not sure of his involvement. I just know that he did tell me that he was involved with that process. One of their operations managers, I believe, is coming from there. I believe his name is Cole. And I apologize if I screw up some of these folks' names because I've only met them one time, and I've met so many people in the last 2 weeks. And trying to maintain everybody's name is a little challenging.
Yeah.
But I believe his name is Cole. Young guy, very, very bright, and he is down there in operations at the Grand Park facility now.
Okay.
So he will be coming on to Auburn Sports Group's campus.
Okay.
Grant Sin, the president, is also a member at DuPont.
Oh, okay.
Approached me about a year ago and said, Lonnie, I love what you've done with the gym. Thank you for doing this. You and your wife doing a fantastic job. And would you be interested in franchising the name? And I said, well, no, I wouldn't. We talked about it.
Man, you know what's funny? It's funny when you told me when you guys were naming your business. I remember telling you how franchisable the brand name was.
I know.
Do you remember?
And you're right.
Do you remember?
Right. I do.
I was like, Lonnie, that's got like a, Powerhouse, Golds,
Right.
Iron Society. Like,
Yeah.
that's a kick-ass
And it
name.
does. And you know what? Maybe that's a road we travel down later.
Mm-hmm.
But until I have the brand 100% locked down and I'm happy with it,
Right.
I want to maintain as much control of it as I can until I've got it 100%. I've got the processes down so that it is duplicatable to. I mean, honestly, and I know this is a huge thing to say, but it's duplicatable to the level of McDonald's.
No, I understand what you're saying. And I respect the hell out of that because that's not audacious at all. That's just the way it has to be.
Well, it's my name
To succeed.
It's a name that it actually wasn't my name. My wife and Brianna Hess came up with that name. I didn't pick this name. This was my wife's name. She picked this name.
That's awesome.
And when she told me what it meant, I just I got to be honest. I was a little afraid that people might think it's a little dark.
I remember you were kind of going. I remember.
I was. It was.
Yeah,
It
you
was
were.
a tense moment for me, but I think people have really, really fallen in love with it as much as I have.
Yeah.
Because it took a little getting used to. But so he came to me. He asked me that question. I told him no.
Deep down, I know you loved it. You were just worried about different clientele base.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which is
That's
great.
correct.
Which is great. It means you care.
Yeah. So, but I did tell him, I said, but I might be interested in doing a gym there. Let's talk. Over the course of the next few weeks, we had lots of conversations. We had a couple lunches together with his dad, Rod. Really felt how much they cared about what they were doing, how important it was to them. And when I pitched the idea of, I had this concept, and I've had this concept for a couple of years, where what if we did a gym, but we did it differently than everybody else does? We do a traditional gym, but we also do an athletic training center. And then we also add in a functional fitness area, an actual functional fitness area. So essentially we're going to do 3 gyms in one. And to my knowledge, it hasn't been done. Definitely hasn't been done anywhere around here. And they loved it. And then we started pitching out some other ideas on how we can work with the youth athletes, how we can help them develop, as they come in for training camps and things like that. They can use our facility. We have, I know you know Becky Levi.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah. So we have Becky that can help, develop some programs for the students. We have Dr. Jennifer Nunley at Hoosier Chiropractic, who's going to be there with us to help, make sure that, everybody's, taken care of.
All up there in Auburn?
All up there in Auburn.
Wow, okay.
Yep. Yeah. So essentially creating an entire almost health and wellness training center centered around youth sports. One of the biggest things that I noticed was kids coming out of like high school and getting into college sports, half of them have blown knees, busted elbows, torn shoulders. Why is that? Because nobody ever really taught them how to lift properly.
You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. The only, Lonnie, the only reason I knew how to lift or exercise properly is because when I was playing travel soccer as a youth, they put us in a similar program. I think it was AWP is what it was called back then. Athletes with Purpose. I think that was with Lutheran and OPS. I'm not sure if that's still active.
AWP kind of got swallowed up by OPS.
Yeah, that's what it was. But what you're talking about, they kind of did that. And it was main stuff. It was for explosive athletic based, and it was the main staple stuff like the Olympic lifts, deads, squatting, and dude, when Chase and I got in the gym, it was like, Yeah. But you're you're 100% right. You don't get that in middle school. You don't get that in high school.
You don't.
No.
And especially not in travel league. So I thought, okay, what if we had this concept where we could put this gym in, we could put this athletic training center in, and it would essentially be free to the athletes. Doesn't cost them a dime. We partner with Auburn Sports Group, and this is free to them. Now, it's still a gym. We still have regular members, just like we have in Fort Wayne now. We still market as a regular gym, but when it comes to that portion of it, we have that partnership. And they love the idea. Absolutely loved it, because this is something that nobody else does in youth sports facilities. They loved it so much, we're already in talks for 3 other facilities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. The potential in youth sports currently is over $5 billion a year. That's the size of that industry.
Yeah.
It is tremendously huge. I had no idea.
Yeah.
The opportunity that we have with this new concept, it could explode into something just absolutely massive. My goal for pretty much the rest of my life is to help as many people as I humanly possibly can before I take my last breath. I don't care that much about the money. I have money. It's fine. I have everything I need in life. Now it's my turn to build something that helps everybody else.
I love that. And you're doing it through something you're passionate about.
100%.
Yeah, you've always been a gym rat.
Always.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll die with a dumbbell in my hand.
Yes, I'm the same way. I loved it. We love the gym. We love the gym.
Well, you know what? And it's funny because, and I had this conversation with a couple other people, but and you can appreciate this. I know you will. You can use weightlifting, bodybuilding, whatever you want to call it, in so many different ways as to explain life situations. Like we were talking about, pushing through pain and or talking with people smarter than you. Well, I don't want to go to a gym where I'm the biggest guy there. That's not motivating. If I walk in the door and I'm already the biggest guy there, I have no motivation to get any bigger or push any harder because I already won.
Right.
But if I walk in the gym and, at 230 pounds and 5'10", and I'm the smallest guy there, those are big people.
I'm in a good environment. Yeah.
I'm in a great environment.
Yeah.
This is exactly where I want to be.
There's always.
Bodybuilding has taught me so much throughout just normal, average, everyday courses in life that, you can keep going. You can always take more pain. It's not going to kill you. If you just put your head down and do the work, you'll get there.
I resonate with that. So I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's therapeutic. It's for your health. It's so much. And what I love about it is it's always challenging. Like it's not something you can, like you just said, you can't win because your goals change. You get older, your body changes. It's a process. Your goals will change. It's the getting up every day, just putting in the work, getting one step closer or improving, or I don't know, man, it's a lot of things. I resonate with that. I think that's why you and I, we've hit it off from day one. Okay, so there's that. Let's see what a good finisher here. Oh, Lonnie, I've got a client. He's an attorney at the prosecutor's office. Begged me to ask you this on camera.
This ought to be good.
Will there be a pickleball court?
Okay, first of all, you're going to have to explain to me what pickleball is.
All right, so Richard, if you're watching this, the answer is no. No, I promised him. I promised him I would ask that. He's a funny guy.
Well, okay. Let me tell you something that nobody knows yet, and you'll be the first one to hear this.
Oh, here we go. I was just about to ask you. Give us something the public doesn't know. Give us something you want people to know about the direction you're going and what that facility is going to look like, and just give us something.
Okay. So initially the building is going to be 30 to 35,000 square feet. It will have saunas, water massage beds, full service locker rooms, 15,000 square feet of athletic training and functional fitness area, 15,000 square feet of traditional, we'll call it big box gym. So basically 15,000 square feet of like the equipment we have at DuPont.
That's a big space, man.
It's a huge space, yeah. So, and that's to start with. So this is the part that nobody knows about. We're adding 10,000 square feet of concrete off the back of this thing. And initially what it's going to be is it's going to be a fully functional outdoor gym.
Oh, wow.
Now, because we live in northern Indiana,
right,
we can only use it, half the year.
Half the year,
I understand that.
yeah.
But the way we're going to design it, it's mainly for expansive purposes later if we find that the facility is too small and we need to add.
Are you going to foot it?
Huh?
You going to foot it?
Yeah, we're going to foot it. It'll be ready to throw an extension of the building onto, and we can immediately add 10,000 square feet onto the end. But because we bought 3 acres, we're also going to add in grass space, green space.
Okay.
Where we're going to have outdoor turf installed. And so that way we can actually have, we can do outdoor wind sprints if we have football teams in there, things like that. So what, and I apologize, what is pickleball?
That's the question of the day. It doesn't matter. I won't say it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. You've got more things.
If it's something, I will tell you this, and anybody that knows me will agree with this, okay?
Yeah.
If that's what my customers want, I will do it.
I'm gonna clip this into a reel. This will be funny. Lastly, I was just gonna ask you something. Oh, because selfishly, I just want to ask, how many hours a day right now are you working or allocating towards the new location and the day-to-day on what you currently have? I'll include like pontificating at home,
my average workday starts at 8 in the morning and ends at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Some nights I'm up till 1 in the morning.
So 12, 16 hour days.
In the middle of the night, and I end up in my office because I can't sleep because I have too much on my mind. Right now, my mind is completely just full of so many different ideas that I want to put into Auburn, because Auburn is the model for how we move forward. Auburn is the product that I really, really, really want to bring to market that I think everybody would really enjoy. So much so that we're planning on the Southwest location being a very similar image to what Auburn's going to be, if we can find the land. We're also talking with a couple of the contractors that are working on the GE project, to see if we could potentially put a gym in the GE building once that is done. So
That would be cool.
yeah, I think it would be too. They're going to have, I think last count, over 700 housing, 700 apartments.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're aware of the Headwaters Park too, right? That loft project?
Yeah, the development's going on at Headwaters Park. Yeah, that's going to be huge. I mean, the amount of residential space they're going to be adding to the downtown market is going to be tremendous over the next, 2 to 5 years.
All that's down there, I think, is the Y's got a spot somewhere.
They still have their downtown Y.
The new one, right? In the Ash. No, they got both of them. They've got the new one.
Both of them. No,
yeah,
the Ash building is the Skyline Y.
Ash. That one's kind of small.
It's very small, yeah, and I think that's primarily used by just the people in the Ash building.
Yeah, it's a different.
I think you could get a membership to go in there.
That's a different product, though.
Yeah, I can't see too many people driving by and going, "Hey, I'll get a membership there."
Right.
I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
But with being in the GE project, we would have a lot of people that can walk up, drive up. They're going to have tons of parking. So and that's possibly 2024 from what I understand right now. I don't know how that's going to progress. We're just kind of keeping an eye on that. But that's something that we've been thinking about. Southwest is still obviously on the map, always has been. Land and buildings in Southwest is insanely difficult to find.
I know, it's crazy.
I don't understand it. It just,
in my opinion,
it's that whole area. They're not even building that much down there.
I know.
They're building quite a bit. Don't get me wrong.
But the energy's not down there.
It's not. The energy's north.
Yeah, and they're pricing it like north pricing.
Right, exactly. And there's just not that much activity.
I know. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I mean, maybe things change in 6 months. I don't know. I mean, if you pay attention to any of the gurus on YouTube, they're going to tell you that the market's going to crash tomorrow. So
Yeah, right.
But,
I can confidently say that's not going to happen.
All of these things, my work days are long. I do a lot of just trying to keep myself on track because there's so many different things that I could do, think about that would get me so far off track that it's insane. And it's very difficult because as you well know, how many opportunities are thrown at you on a daily basis from different people.
Oh my gosh.
You could absolutely run down a rabbit hole and spend half your day thinking about when that's never going to happen. And I think that's something else that you can take to your viewers as your channel builds is staying focused.
Staying focused and executing. And a big one that I always talk about is your actions aligning with your ambition.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk the talk, go walk the walk.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, man, I will leave you at that. I'm going to get a bite to eat before we board. Thank you so much for taking this time, man. I know how much we each safeguard our time, and I don't know, man, I just thought it'd be cool to throw something different on the channel. And I love how kind you are. I love what you're doing. I remember, training together at Speece all the time. Yeah. Seeing you have your own space, being so happy. Dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. I think you're killing it. I think
Thank you.
I think going to Auburn is going to be incredible. I'm really excited to see that come to fruition for obvious reasons.
I'm excited to see it too because that is literally the first brick in my new.
I feel like it'll be the first. It'll be the first. I don't know. I feel like it's going to allow you to fully be yourself.
Yeah, it will. It'll be the first one that's 100%.
It'll be like the first at bat.
Yeah.
Like actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
It will. And I've had the opportunity to learn so much that I know it will succeed. My only question is, how well is it going to do? I know it's going to do well. I want to be absolutely floored in how it's received because we did such a fantastic job. My goal is to deliver the absolute best product, bar none, anybody has ever seen. And that's what I'm going to do.
And with that mindset, you will. All right, man. Have a good night. Tell Nikki I said hello. It's been too long.
I will. Tell Logan I said hi.
I will, man. It's good to see you.
All right.
See you, Lonnie.
See you, brother.
All right, bye.
See ya.
This young boy from Texas, so excuse my grammar. Big booty, my standards, Deuce and Fanta. If I'm in the scene, I'm flexing in the camera. Check my fellas, we all flock the same. We birds of the same feather, we together, this forever. Switching bezels every level. Me and Cinco push that two-door coupe. Ain't none of this shit rented. Serving fishes, fuck your favorite rapper. Hope he get offended. I was tripping off that hoe before, but promise I ain't tripping. I was tripping off them Subi jeans, but now my closet drip is on her. Got a bag and I couldn't be prouder. Drop a song and your status went nada. In the booth if I'm tryna get proper. I was a schoolboy just tryna get collard greens. Homie outside with Alicia Keys. I made money from mics, they made money from fiends. Root of all evil, what got me them tickets at Regal? So fuck what's illegal. I'm different, I really ain't get a handout. I know half of these rappers were gimmicks. I write my own lyrics, I bought my own pen. All the most but my song screaming fuck your opinion. No need for a nigga to say that I'm winning. It's fuck everybody the way I've been feeling. I got me a bitch and my bitch got a bitch, so they down for a threesome, nigga. Pimp. Young boy from Texas, so excuse my grammar. Big booty, my standards, Deuce and Fanta. If I'm in the scene, I'm flexing in the camera. Check my fellas, we all flock the same. We birds of the same feather, we together, this forever. Switching bezels every level. Switch a Lambo for a Chevy. Backseat heavy from that heavy. Want a bad bitch with the fetty. When she ready, bitch, I'm ready. Fuck the sex, I want that Becky. Give me Becky, if you let me. I whip slow, my cook game steady. Turn that boy into spaghetti. I can ask a partner in my camp to handle something. They just do it like they beefing with Adidas. Bitches popping pussy for the same. Skinny nigga dropping music, ain't nobody had believing. Took a couple L's, I ain't tweaking. I got money to help all my reasons. I got shorties from all major regions. I jumped in the water and claiming the deep end. Hold on. Different money, I'm counting those shorties I'm pounding on. I know them niggas is pissed. I'ma put a new paddock on, buy my bitch silicone, then I'ma double again. Niggas ain't solid, I don't claim a friend, because when I was knocking, you ain't let me in. Niggas lose vision all over the pussy or snake the whole game for a blue Benjamin. Witness, everyone said that I'm up, I was stuck at the bottom. You ain't give a fuck, I don't care for a bitch. I ain't searching for love and I don't trust the soul if he ain't from above. I ain't surfing the wave, I got locks, fuck a brush. When I got in the game, I was shit out of luck. They would look at my pain and they ain't held me up. If you mention my name, say I don't give a fuck. Young bitch from Texas, so excuse my grammar. Big booty, my standards, Deuce and Fanta. If I'm in the scene, I'm flexing in the camera. Check my fellas, we all flock the same. We birds of the same feather, we together, this forever. Switching bezels every level.